Collier. Today I'll be reviewing set 71720 Firestone Mech. This set released June 1st, 2020, retailed for €70 with 5 minifigures as well as 1 exclusive minifigure to the set. Of course, you can't have the Firestone Mech without the main man himself, who is absolutely dripped out from head to toe. This is easily one of Cole's best suits. Cole uses the Master of the Mountain mask piece, dual molded in black and pearl gold, as well as the Season 13 armor piece in pearl gold, with a 1x1 clip connected at the back through a stud connection to hold either Cole's weapon or shield. The front face print is an angry expression, while the alternative face print is a much happier smile. The torso print is a brown belt, pearl gold belt, black robes, and a grey undershirt, as well as a lion head on the right shoulder, while the back print has the belt, armor, robe, collar, and belt printing continuing from the front. The leg printing has a brown belt with gold armor and grey bands across the knees. For accessories, Cole has a brick built weapon and a pearl gold shield with a lion print. As I said, this is easily one of Cole's best suits, just for how unique it looks compared to other Ninjago suits. Unfortunately though, this is the cheapest set Hero Cole comes in, with the only other set being the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon, which was $100. For some reason, Kai is in this set, even though in canon he never saw this mech, yet alone piloted it, but he's here nonetheless. The mask piece is the same as Cole's, but dual molded in red and pearl gold, as well as the same armor piece and 1x1 clip to hold his brick built sword and shield. Kai's torso is much simpler, with just a giant lion emblem over his Season 11 robes. The back printing continues with the simple torso design, with just straps and a slight wrinkle in the center of his back. The leg printing is the exact same as the Season 11 suit, a dark red belt to the left, robe printing, and tan bands across the knees. For accessories, Kai has a pearl gold shield with a lion print and a brick built sword, comprising of a silver machete, pearl gold stud, and a brown hilt. Despite the very simple torso printing, the armor combination helps to improve the overall design of this particular suit. Like Cole, this is the cheapest set Hero Kai comes in, with the only other set being the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. The final hero suit you get in this set is Nia, which is arguably the best Master of the Mountain suit design. Nia uses the same mask mold as Cole and Kai, but dual molded in silver and dark grey, as well as using the same armor piece, but in silver. Although for some reason, she uses a pearl gold clip instead of a silver clip, which can hold both of her accessories. The front face print is a confident smirk, while the alternate face print is a much happier expression. The torso print has tan fur and silver armor, with a water design over Nia's Season 11 robes, which looks really good. The back printing has more of the armor and fur printing, as well as the back of Nia's Season 11 robes. The leg printing has an azure belt to the left, with silver armor and wrinkles around the knees. For accessories, Nia has a brick built spear and a silver shield with a dragon print. Again, I've gotta say, this is easily the best hero suit design, thanks to its unique fur armor design, which is kind of reminiscent of a barbarian in, say, D&D, which was most definitely an intentional design choice due to the summer 2020 way's focus on being a board game. Hero Nia isn't exclusive to the set, and in fact, comes in a much cheaper set, which I've already reviewed on this very channel. Don't watch it though. My pre-2023 reviews are pretty bad if I'm being real, and even then, those reviews from last year aren't that great. Next we have Muntz or Mert, depending on the set. Although in the Firestone Mech, this is in fact Mert, who uses the Nanocon hairpiece in black, which is connected to the head by a bronze stud. Mert also uses the Dragon Hunter armor in reddish brown and tan, which definitely fits with the D&D inspiration for Season 13. The face print is an angry expression with scales, and while there's no alternative face print, there is scale printing. The torso print is a stone necklace with a Z and A in jargon, which I don't think is a reference to anything in the show, but feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The rest of the torso print is a 4-pack with slight scale printing, while the back printing is a necklace continued from the front with 1 and Z in jargon, as well as shoulder blade, spine, and more scale printing. The leg printing is a tan belt with bolts, armor printing, and scales around the knees. For an accessory, Mert has a brick built axe. As orc designs go, this definitely gives me a point of nostalgia for Lego Castle, especially with the brown and tan armor. Like Nia, the cheapest set Mert comes in is Journey to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. Lastly, we have the only exclusive minifigure in this set, being Mo, who uses the exact same hairpiece, head, torso, back, and leg printing as Mert. The only difference between the two is the lack of recolored dragon armor and accessories, as Mo uses the Skulk scimitar in grey instead of an axe. Well, it's definitely one of the lamer exclusive minifigures, considering the only difference is one piece. Enough said. Before we get to the Firestone Mech, you get a small stand in the set to hold the Shadow Blade of Deliverance, which has this super intricate mold that, with a little bit of alteration, could easily make for a perfect Buster Sword mold. Lego Final Fantasy 1? On its own, this set is honestly a top 5 Ninjago mech, but in terms of the show, this design makes no sense, as Kai not only never saw this mech, but was nowhere near close enough in Shintaro to be able to co-pilot it alongside Cole. Plus, these decals are a set only inclusion, although they do look pretty cool. Starting at the view of the mech, the left side is entirely grey to match coal, while the right is red to match the lava monster in the show, but Kai in the context of the set. The feet of the mech are connected by ball joints, which can be articulated like so, and use tire pieces on the underside of the feet to give the mech extra stability, which is very welcomed. Again, the left leg is an entirely stone design, while the right leg has gold decals by the non-existing knees, and arrows pointing upwards in the thigh, which are all unsurprisingly stickers. The legs can do a full kick, as well as jut outwards for posability. For some reason too, there's these Technic pieces, which jut out to the back, that are kinda odd looking, but don't really take away from the mech's design all too much. The cockpit area of the mech has another arrow sticker, which points towards the mech seats, which have a translucent orange windshield piece in front, with grey flaps on the left and red flaps on the right with stickers. The cockpit itself has control panels at the front and both sides. To fit the mech's pilots, you place one in the back standing up, and the second seated in the front like so. The mech's head is quite clearly samurai inspired, with a printed shoulder pad for the forehead, which is a very cool reuse of parts, which can also be said for the mech's eyes, which use the Samurai X crown piece in pearl gold. As a cool detail too, the front of the head is red to match Kai, while the back is grey for Cole. The head can also be moved up and down to make placing the pilots inside the mech a lot easier. The back of the mech has a splash of grey and red, with a spinner crown and clips to hold the minifigures accessories while they're piloting the mech, which is something I wish more mechs did. It would have been cool if this also acted as sort of a sword holder for the mech's giant swords, as an extra way to display the Firestone mech. The shoulder pads are connected to the mech via a Technic connection to hide both the arm joint, which can articulate like so, and some extra weapons for Cole and Kai. It's a bit of a minor nitpick and there's really no way around it, but I'm not a huge fan of how the arms go from really bulky to super thin in the middle, which again, there's no way around without resorting to using the inferior Evo mech joints, but it's just something worth mentioning. However, since we don't have Evo mech joints in the set, you do in fact have elbow articulation. The left hand has a rock design to hide the stud shooters, which fire two translucent orange studs like so. And while it's not something that was in the show, it makes for a nice addition. The left hand's fingers are super flat and lack individual articulation to really sell the idea that this mech is made of stone. Now as a cool detail, the left hand sword is silver while the right hand sword is in pearl gold to match the Firestone element of the mech. The right hand slightly differs from the left by having a more robotic design by using the Exoforce arms in pearl gold for the fingers, as well as lacking stud shooters. It goes without saying, but this is easily a top 5 Ninjago mech of all time, despite it not being accurate to the show, but the cool design throws that argument out the window. The minifigure selection is pretty good, but I do wish that there were some Awakened Warriors in this set, since they weren't super common in the Season 13 wave. I still don't get why they advertised the Geckos and Munts as the season's villains in the sets, when the Awakened Warriors were right there. Although if I were to complain, I think 70 was a little too much, especially with Zane's Legacy Titan mech releasing 6 months later with the exact same number of minifigures and a similarly sized mech for $10 less. Plus, that set also has knee articulation, which this does not. Still though, I'd highly recommend the set, all complaints aside. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to stay notified for my future LEGO set reviews. And if you want to help the channel financially, consider becoming a channel member for only €2 a month. And until next time, see ya.